We continue now at the top of Daf Memhei Amud Aleph and Meseches Avodah Zara. This is Avodah Zarah Daf 45a. This Amud is sponsored by Alexander Rosenfeld in memory of Erna Winston. Thank you for your sponsorship. If you'd like to sponsor an Amud or a Daf, see the description box below to see how you can support this channel. The Mishnah says, Hanochrim ha'ovdim esaharim eves hagvos. If the Gentiles, if they serve the mountains or the hills, so hein mutarin, so the mountains and the hills themselves, they are mutter, they are permitted, they don't become forbidden. Umasha alein, but what's upon them, let's say for example, the mountains or hills are coated with silver and gold, so that silver and gold that is upon them, asurin, that will be forbidden. Shenamar, as it says in the pasuk, lo sachmod kesef v'zov aleim, it says don't desire the silver and gold that is upon them. And the Mishnah continues, Rabbi Yossi Haglili Omer, Rabbi Yossi Haglili says, Eloheim al harim, it says they're gods on the mountains, velo harim Eloheim. It doesn't mean that the mountains are the gods. The Gemara will discuss how Rabbi Yossi Haglili is different than the Tanna Kama. It seems like the same basic idea, that the mountains themselves don't have the status of idols. And similarly, Eloheim al hagvos, again, they're gods on the hills, velo hagvos Eloheim. And the hills are not considered to be the gods. Well, if that's true, if things that are attached to the ground, like mountains and hills, do not have the status of idols, so then why is it that the Asherah tree, which was served, why is that prohibited? Why does that become forbidden? And the reason for that is, because that has human involvement. If the tree was planted by a person, so then it's possible for it to become forbidden. Anything that has human involvement is forbidden. Rabbi Akiva says, Ani ovin va'adon lefanach, I'll explain it to you. Kol makom shata motzi har gavoa, anywhere where you find a high mountain, v'giva nisu, you find a high hill, v'yetz ranon, and a leafy tree, da, you should know, sheyesham avodas kochav. And the pasuk is simply saying, that's the area, that's the location where you can find the Avoda Zara. Rabbi Akiva here is referring to the full pasuk. We'll take a look at the full pasuk. The pasuk says, Abeita abdun es kol ha-mekomos asher avdu sham hagoyim asher atem yorshim osam. You have to destroy all of the places where there was Avodah Zara. Es Eloheim al hahorim haramim v'al hagvos v'sachas kol eitz ranan. So Rabbi Akiva is explaining, the pasuk is not saying that the mountains are considered like the idols. It's giving you locations where you can find the Avodah Zara. And the Gemara says, Rabbi Yossi Haglili hainu Tanna Kama. Isn't Rabbi Yossi Haglili saying the same thing as the Tanna Kama? Both Rabbi Yossi Haglili and the Tanna Kama are saying that the mountains and the hills do not have the status of the Avodah Zara. And the Gemara continues and answers, Amar Rami Bar Chama, Amar Reish Lakish. Rami Bar Chama says that Reish Lakish says the difference between the Tanna Kama and Rabbi Yossi Haglili is Tzipoi har kahar ika beinahu. Whether, let's say again, they plated the mountain, for example, with gold, with some kind of metal, does that have the same status as the mountain itself? Tanna Kama Savar, the Tanna Kama holds Tzipoi har eino kahar, that if they plate the mountain, that does not have the same status as the mountain. And again, that's exactly what the Tanna Kama said. The Tanna Kama said, Hein mutarin, the mountains themselves are mutter, but umasha alein asurin, but that which is upon them is also, doesn't have the status of the mountain, and therefore it's forbidden. The tzipoi is forbidden, umitzar, that's why it's forbidden. Rabbi Yossi Haglili Savar, but Rabbi Yossi Haglili, he holds no, tzipoi har hareu kahar, that the plating of the mountain, if they coat the mountain with gold or silver, that has the same status of the mountain, and the gold and silver will also be permitted. And the Gemara continues, Rav Shesha Samar, Rav Shesha says, Dekuli alma, tzipoi har eno kahar. Everybody agrees that if they coat the mountain, it does not have the status of the mountain, and again, the metal will be usur, and we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Memhei Amud Beis.